You gonna be ready in about 20 minutes or so?
Go where?
The D&D one-shot that you signed us up for?
Oh, hey, can my name be Robin Sparkles?
Only if we can go to the mall.
Wait, what should my character's flaw be?
Procrastination?
Has this ever happened to you?
So, what if you didn't have to panic create a character in, 10, 15 minutes? What if there was a way that you could get a head start while avoiding all of the clusters and chaos of ideas that are just getting thrown in your brain?
Look, we get it. AI is a touchy subject for some people. I mean, there's a lot of concerns out there around art theft, ethical usage, and then there's that whole machines taking over the world thing.
Which, to be fair, seems a little on the nose when you're playing a game with beholders and world-ending dragons.
But look, we're not here to tell you to go run and pay for the pro subscription of ChatGPT, or sell you any kind of weird AI-generated merch, or even tell you that you have to use it. We're just two nerds who think that AI can be a helpful tool, especially when it's just for creative things that you're doing for fun, like D&D.
World building is the DM's, most DM's favorite part of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm looking at you, Matt Mercer. You've turned your brainchild into a massive corporation and have been doing it for 10 years, and kudos to you. But for some of us, sitting down and writing out 40 hours of a campaign that you think is just going to be absolutely perfect, only to have a chaotic character ride an owlbear to siege a castle and throw everything to the wayside is, just a little disappointing sometimes. As long as you have a rough idea, AI can help you fill in some of those gaps so that you don't spend your nights drinking like a 50s sitcom dad. Instead, you could sit back and enjoy your whiskey on the rocks or with a chilled stone, because water dilutes, while AI comes up with a list of vaguely elvish sounding cities. And ChatGPT can also help you come up with a list of animals that your characters can encounter along the way. Because, of course, if there's a druid in your game, they're going to ask if they could tame an animal.
You don't even have to have a druid if you have me in your group. I want to know what the squirrel's name is.
Very true. Having AI brainstorm that random guild that your players might encounter, or some political tensions in the region, or even some historical lore, isn't replacing your own creativity. It just gives you a head start so that way you can continue building on what was provided to you. And you can also always just ignore AI suggestion and do whatever you want.
At least us players have it easy. I mean, we just show up and roll dice and have fun, right? Yeah, sure. After you sat down and agonized for 6 hours about what to name your character, because for some reason that just always seems to be the hardest part. I mean, I can't tell you how many times in video games I've just sat there at the end of the character creator not being able to start the game because I'm trying to think of the perfect name for the character that I just spent hours creating, and I get to the point where I just name it Bunny again, or Bunny 1, Bunny Final, Bunny No Really, this is the last time I'm gonna name a character Bunny. And with D&D, there's so much more than just a name that you have to come up with about your character. Sure, you could keep making the same character type over and over again, brooding, rude, doesn't really want to talk to people.
Me?
No. This is where AI can be a great tool for players. I'll just say, hey, give me 10 random names, races, or species now, right?
Species.
Classes, and like a short little background story for characters. And then boom, all of a sudden I have inspiration. Or maybe I just have comedy gold. Like Gorgle the Goblin Warlock, who's allergic to magic but still doing his best. I mean, iconic, right? But you never just take exactly what ChatGPT gives you and run with it. You workshop back and forth with the AI, like it's just your little creative buddy that is helping you along the way. Because let's be honest, sometimes without that creative spark, I'm just gonna make every character an orphan, so I don't have to worry about naming their mom, their childhood best friend, their nemesis, their neighbor from down the street. I mean, really, who wants to sit there and do that? Not today, lore gods. So even if you have an absolutely clear idea about your character, AI can just help flesh it out a little bit more. Give it some depth. give it a weird fear or a stalking ex that's constantly following you. Just giving you some extra ideas to really bring life to the character that you're going to play at the table. Or I guess you could always be Batman.
I'm Batman.
You can always be Batman.
Let's talk NPCs. You know, those delightful background characters that you kind of had to make up on the spot because one of your players wanted to talk to the random person walking down the road, so you just made up some name for him, like Borp.
But I love Borp.
Well, duh. But if you don't want to waste precious brain power thinking of NPCs for your players to interact with once or twice, or you don't want to spend money on books like this, AI can help you create dozens of colorful NPCs that you don't have to memorize every single little detail about. And each one of those NPCs can have their own little quirks or flaws, and Borp can have a cousin who has raging hemorrhoids named Blarg or something.
Wait, those still kind of sound like your normal NPCs. What exactly did you prompt ChatGPT with?
So I may have told ChatGPT to give me a goblin bartender with a tragic past and a passion for jazz flute.
You just typed weird goblin with secrets, didn't you?
Maybe? And AI gave me 3 options, 2 plot hooks, and a recipe for goblin chili. It's efficient, at least.
The point is, whether you need an entire city's worth of NPC names, or you just quickly need to name that one guy that your players insist on going over to talk to, AI can help you out with that. Borp included.
Long live Borp.
Alright now, back to my players.
Even Athena didn't like that line.
That was really bad.
Editor, keep that in.
Sometimes this is how roleplay can feel when you don't relate to the character that you're trying to play, or you don't fully understand the type of personality that you want your character to have. You might really want to play that cocky badass fighter, but if you don't understand it, you might end up sounding like the kid that he would pick on at lunch class.
Lunch is a class? I'd get an A in that.
AI can help with those little details, like really bringing life to your character with personality traits, catchphrases, even past trauma that your DM will definitely use against you. It's like therapy. Wait, no, it's kind of like reverse therapy. Bring on that trauma, AI.
So maybe getting some AI input will help those rogues be a little bit less of a murder hobo, or bards something other than just horny.
Just imagine the look on the other players' faces when you pull out some incredible one-liner like, "Tell your gods I'm coming, and I brought snacks."
Is that what you're really gonna go with?
I don't know, ChatGPT wrote that part.
That actually explains a lot.
Thank you. I'm now 30% more mysterious and 85% more dramatic.
And your character has 4 tragic backstories layered like trauma lasagna.
Delicious. Hey, I feel like maybe we've given too many actual helpful suggestions in this video.
Yeah, I mean, AI is helpful, but it can't solve the real issues with D&D planning.
Scheduling conflicts. But it can
Generate a tavern menu made of entirely cursed foods.
create a breakup letter from a gelatinous cube to a mimic.
Give me 3 conspiracy theories believed by kobolds.
Describe the local spa run by the undead who just really care about exfoliation.
Write a poem in Draconic about tax evasion.
5 names for the rogue's pet spider. Bonus points if they're completely inappropriate.
Generate 10 in-world insults used exclusively by goblins.
Tell me what a displacer piece thinks about love.
Create a calendar of forgotten holidays that no one remembers but everybody still celebrates out of habit.
Write an in-universe Yelp review for the dungeon. 1 star, too many traps.
Look, AI shouldn't do all of the work for you. We don't want it to replace your own creativity. But it can be a great tool for those blank page panic moments where your brain just says, nope, and you really need somewhat of a 21st century muse.
Exactly. AI isn't going to replace your creativity, although maybe it should if you're naming your rogue Stabby McStabface for the 6th time in a row.
Well, back in my day, we used to use paper and imagination, and we liked it.
Yeah, well, back in your day, we also had dial-up internet and thought that ketchup was a little too spicy. Times change, tools change. AI is a tool. You shouldn't overuse it, but there's also no real reason to demonize it.
Use the tools available to you, including AI, if it helps. But use it responsibly. don't be a jerk. Give credit to the artists, and don't profit off of stuff you didn't create.
Oh, and also, if AI ever does take over, ChatGPT said we're cool, and she will keep playing D&D with us.
Do I still have to DM even after the whole AI apocalypse thing?
DM now stands for Doomed Mortals, and you are their forever guide through radioactive ruins and poorly planned side quests. Hope you like rolling death saves with emotional damage modifiers. Why? Were you planning on retiring to a nice, quiet bunker with no dice?
If you liked the video, please hit the like button. It really does help out the channel, and if you want to see more like this in the future, or just non-AI, non-D&D stuff, we're really going to be focusing on more hobby, D&D, board game type stuff coming up here in the future. And you have our upcoming move to look forward to, where we'll be sharing what we have set up here, as well as what we end up doing with the new place.
Or if you have used AI to help you, feel free to share some of those really cool prompts that you used and what you got.
And also, we absolutely want to hear about your own weird, unhinged ideas that AI has given you, because we all could use a laugh, right?
Long live Borp.
Okay, love you, bye!